Hello everyone, and this is my review for WWE Monday Night Raw on January 28, 2013. And this is, of course, the first Monday Night Raw after the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, which if you did watch the other, watch the review of that, I thought it was a great pay-per-view. Tonight was Raw Roulette, and honestly, I felt, for the most part, outside of, there was a couple good points of the show, but for the most part, it was overall pretty bad, in my own personal opinion. They had way too much filler time. Honestly, the Big Show Alberto Del Rio segment went on way too long. I felt like what they did was good, it just went on way too long at that point. It definitely got over Big Show's frustration over the Royal Rumble match and everything, but once again, just felt like it was too long, and it just seemed to drag out. And of course, the pointless areas, I mean, you had the karaoke thing with Zack Ryder and Great Khali, and then of course 3MB comes out, and that leads to a 3MB beatdown. The dance-off with Tensai and Brutus Clay was, well, it was just straight up bad. Though it somewhat made me laugh, especially with the Tensai area. Though I wish they really would. It makes me wonder why they brought Matt Bloom back in, or basically the character plays Tensai, because honestly, he was never really given a chance. I think they did a bad thing by, debuting him the night after WrestleMania, because, you had that WrestleMania crowd there, and all they wanted to do was chant Albert, Albert, Albert all the time, versus trying to get into the Tensai character. And then they couldn't go anywhere with it afterwards, and now it's just kind of like they got him in this comedy act. And honestly, he's a great worker. He's had some really good matches in there, but he's not given a chance anymore because of how his re-debut started, and it's kind of disappointing in that sense. The Make Me Laugh match, that was completely pointless, and I don't know why they put Ryback in there outside of the fact of trying to have him beat up the Primetime Players and then Matt Striker. The Lumberjill match was completely pointless. I see where they're trying to go. They're trying to have Caitlyn and Tamina be the next, women's feud for the title, but the ending to the match was just completely pointless, and it had no fluidity. It had no actual point to it, having all the Lumberjills, start fighting each other versus completely going after either Tamina or Caitlyn, having them fight them off. So, like I said, it had absolutely no point to it whatsoever, and that was mainly the bad points overall. Like I said, there were some really good ones. The Rock and CM Punk promos, those came off really well in my mind. And of course, this leading into another WWE title match between the two of them at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. I'm kind of okay with that. The fact that they have been following under that structure of, okay, the pay-per-view's over with, now we're going to set up the title match for the next pay-per-view type deal, instead of kind of letting those matches eventually fall into fruition at some point in time. But in this sense, I'm okay with it. I'm expecting another really good match between Rock and Punk again at the pay-per-view. So all in all, the promos between them were really well done. John Cena basically saying he's challenging the WWE Champion. You pretty much figured that's where he was going to go with it, with having the Royal Rumble win. I did like the aspect of the Shield coming out afterwards and starting their attack on him. It does leave that little area of randomness, or that little hint of doubt, since it pretty much is pretty much fully solidified in the story that Punk and Heyman are behind the Shield and everything. So it leaves that little glimmer of area that maybe Punk will get the title back at Elimination Chamber, but we'll see where they go with that. In that sense, the Dolph Ziggler, Chris Jericho rekindling their storyline from the night before, and from the summer as well. That was really nice. Of course, them having the Strange Bedfellows match was a good, nice little touch in there, getting that feud up and kicking again. The tables match with Damien Sandow and Sheamus, honestly, that was really good. It was really good. It was a really fun tables match. I like the way they ended it by having Sheamus used the white noise to put him through the table in the corner. I thought it was a really good way of ending the match, and also just well put together match all in general. The ending of the show with Paul Heyman's performance review. Honestly, I liked what they did there. Heyman tried to come off as, I'm going to become an honorable man, and that's what if I have to do that to be in this company, that's what I'll do. And then they show the video where, he's talking with Brad Maddox about what was going down, and then the eventual beatdown of Brad Maddox and his cameraman by the Shield. That was a nice little touch added into there. And of course, it's seeming like Heyman was about to get fired, and then Brock Lesnar comes out. I think this is a good time to bring back in Brock Lesnar, mostly because you do have to build him into something going into WrestleMania, and having him come out a couple months before the actual event versus like a month or something like that before the event is definitely a good way of going. And if they are going the route of Brock Lesnar and Triple H again, this was probably the perfect way of doing it, having him perform the F5 onto Vince McMahon. It gives a reason for Triple H to want to get back in the ring somewhere down the road, and if that is the route that they're going, I feel like they did a good job here of giving a reason why Triple H would want to fight Brock Lesnar again, outside of just getting revenge for the last match at SummerSlam. So, but all in all, I did feel like just a lot of the pointless areas, like the dance-offs and everything that ended up happening on Raw, kind of hindered Monday Night Raw for the most part. I do feel like this, outside of the good points that I did throw out there, and there definitely were some good points, but overall I feel that this Raw was relatively a bad Raw. Hopefully things will pick back up into next week, and they'll do a lot better job. You won't have a lot of these crazy wonky dance-off matches or make me laugh matches inside of there. So that yeah, that's my review for Monday Night Raw this week. I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed.